always enjoyed making music. It's always been a passion of mine, just standing behind a keyboard or piano and just seeing what I can do with basic chords.
Inspiration behind the song is based off of a preaching series that we did as a church. We were doing Romans, the book of Romans, and we were in Romans chapter 8. I think it was the third part of Romans, and the series title for that section was called Led by the Spirit. The first verse starts by saying, "Therefore there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." And so the idea behind it was inspired by that first line, in that us as believers, what inspires us, what motivates us, what reminds us of who we are, and that is what Jesus has done, that there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And so the first verse fixates on the cross, when I surveyed the wonderful cross.
So I actually really enjoy doing EDM, deep house, that genre. I've always enjoyed listening to it. So Andile first said, I have this style for a song, or I have this idea for a song, I don't know what to do, it's a bit of a slow song. So I listened to it, I was like, okay, cool, let's add some strings, let's add a violin, you can't go wrong with a good cello. And once I got to a basic melody and all of that, I just hit a huge brain block. I didn't know how to progress from that. And then a year later, Andile is like, hey, let's continue with the song, let's try something new. I was like, hey, this is an opportunity. So I sped it up a little bit. I added the kick and snare that you would to make it that upbeat song, and it just went on from that. So
the chorus is actually a response from us. Now that Jesus has defeated death on the cross and defeated sin, our response is, well, we want to be led by His Spirit. We want to be moved by His grace. We want to be consumed by it. We want to be able to stand strong in the trials and the fires of life and be able to proclaim and declare that He's God. The second verse explores the idea that now that we are believers, now that there is no condemnation in us, how do we live now? And so the line starts off with the second verse by saying, "And now I walk in your marvelous light, a living sacrifice of your grace. I stand amazed by your mercy and grace, and I want other people to come and look at my life and see the glory and the wonder of Jesus." And so the idea is that once people see who Jesus is and what Jesus has done in our lives, that this would be the message that we send out to the whole world. So the bridge of the song explores this idea that we're more than conquerors in Christ, and we've been set free by the chains that surrounded us, the chains of sin that bind us, and the sin that so easily entangles us. And because of His blood and by His blood, we are now set free, and we're free to live lives led by His Spirit, to declare His praises and His good works to the world around us. And so the inspiration and the motivation is to encourage anyone listening to this song, as they're driving in their cars, as they're washing dishes, as they're hanging out with their friends or sitting at their desk at work, that they would be inspired that actually they are no longer condemned, because they are no longer condemned because of Jesus Christ and what He's done on that cross, and they can be led by His Spirit. And so that's the motivation behind the song.
my name's Dan. I'm one of the producers of the song Led by Your Spirit.
Hi, my name's Andile, and I'm the writer of Led by Your Spirit.
In the fire, declare you are good.